Hi everyone, welcome to Watch It Played. My name is Rodney Smith. This is day 4 of the GAMA Trade Show 2017, and in this video I want to share with you a presentation that I recorded from Ignacy to a room full of people talking about the upcoming game First Martians. And one of the things that he emphasized to us during this meeting, his big fear was that the game would be overhyped, that the excitement for this game was going to mean that only people could be disappointed by it. So his instructions to all of us were, please, please, please lower your expectations. Well, then he proceeded to give us this presentation, which I'll now share with you, and you can decide after you finish watching it whether or not your expectations have been diminished or raised. I'll leave it here, and until the next episode, thanks for watching.
It's a follow-up for Robinson Crusoe, we know that. And the most common questions you will hear for over the next weeks and months is how you compare to Robinson Crusoe. I have Robinson Crusoe, I like Robinson Crusoe, is that like Robinson Crusoe? It is not. And this is a very important thing that you understand that, and that your customers and your audience understand that. The game uses the base same mechanism. That means that if the customer knows Robinson Crusoe, after like 5 minutes he's in the game and he plays this game. So this is good for him that he doesn't have to learn the new rules. The rules are almost the same. But because of the team, the experience is so much different that he actually has a completely different game. This is especially crucial for you, for your customers, because as far as I have a feedback, when I receive emails or geek mails from the fans, so many people play Robinson Crusoe with the families. With my 8-year-old son, my daughter, my wife, we go hunting tigers, we have adventures like this, adventure game. This one is a game about the science. And if you play with your 8-year-old son and you are going to hunt the tiger and then you build a shelter and then there is a bad weather and he has all this imagination, it's freaking awesome. If you are here fixing the oxygen generator so you have oxygen, it's not like hunting a tiger. It will be not that fun. So you have to address it very clearly to your customer why he likes Robinson Crusoe. If he likes it because he appreciates cooperative games, okay. If he appreciates it because there's an interesting mechanism and interesting choices, okay. But if he plays for the team, there are two different games. That make it very, very clear. Because if you sell to your customer, hey, this is like Robinson Crusoe, buy it, you will have not satisfied customer, and he will then come back and say, well, it was not like Robinson Crusoe. The rules the same, the team is completely different. The team of this game is we are scientists and we are on Mars, and we have to survive. That means that we have to manage resources. This game is all about managing resources. We have oxygen, we have energy, and we have food, and we have to survive. So if in this game there's a problem with the oxygen generator, the oxygen goes down, and now we have to figure out how to survive, how to make the oxygen on the Mars. If we have a problem with the minerals and the soil is not very good for the food goes down, yes, you may die. But it's not hunting cannibals, finding treasures, fighting pirates, this is not this game. So address it very clearly. If your customer is playing with the family, it may not be for him. Or it may, I don't know, maybe there is a family who likes dealing with the oxygen problems. But this is a different topic. And once again, the rules are very similar, but the experience is totally different. And it is something that we have to address it before we make a sale, because then you have this satisfied customer. This is much worse than having $50 in the cash. The game, if we compare it to Robinson Crusoe, in Robinson Crusoe you have 6 different scenarios, very unique, very different. The game is known as having a insane replayability because of this mission, because you can play many of these scenarios over and over again and try to win them, and once again and once again and once again. Here we have once again 6 unique missions, and once again these missions are super unique. In one mission you just landed on the Mars, there is nothing built, you have to build everything from the scratch. My playtesters openly say it is impossible to finish this. I don't trust them. But basically it is the most difficult scenario. In the game we have, for example, Proof on the Loose. This is a scenario in which you just lost your curiosity probe. It's lost, you have no idea where it is, and there was a very important sample, you have to find it. So you have to map the area, find the curiosity and bring it back to the habitat. We have a scenario, a guessing game, in which there was a container and stuff with the new pump, with the new food, with the new samples from Earth sent to you. It went not very well in the atmosphere, it exploded, and it is lost. Somewhere here you have to find. What's more, NASA tells you which parts landed, but NASA has no idea where is the food, where is the spare parts, where is the other things. So you have to figure out where is the food, because we need the food first, because we need that, and then other things. Once again, completely different scenario. And each of these is completely different mission. You can play many times, and have completely different experience. What I learned from if you compare to Robinson Crusoe, is that Robinson Crusoe was lacking, and actually this is the thing that Mr. William Attia told me, the designer of Kairos, who is a big fan of Robinson Crusoe. As I learned, there is no introductory scenario in Robinson Crusoe. Like you are starting the game and you are dead playing together on the island. Like the very first scenario is already very difficult.
Sure.
And maybe that is not the best solution. So we have here introduction scenario. It is called Make Yourself at Home. It is very easy. It is very short scenario. When you actually learn all the rules, there are all major things that you should learn for the game are in this scenario here. This is scenario we will use at conventions. This scenario you will use at the game store events. This is a scenario that we will recommend to play for the very first time, and the rule book says very precisely, you open the box, play this one first. You will learn how to play the game, and then you can move on to the other things. So we have, in Robinson Crusoe, 6 super unique missions. The one difference is that we have actual introductory mission that is good for the start. But because we want to add more, as you probably heard from the announcements, we also added the campaign into the box, so we have 5 additional missions. So we double the amount of content if you compare to the Robinson Crusoe. These missions have one huge plot line that is one scenario leads to another one, and another one, and another one, and then we have a grande finale with like a good TV show with the summary of all the plots, and you discover something super interesting. The scenario starts in a very funny way, and NASA is sending to Mars a new supply of food and spare parts. We have on Mars, astronauts have a coordinates where the drop has to be, but the astronauts just discovered that the coordinates are wrong, and if it landed where NASA plans to land it, it will be lost because there's some tectonic problems. So astronauts at the beginning sending information to NASA, hey, the coordinates are wrong, we are just sending you updated ones. NASA, do you hear me? NASA, do you hear us? NASA, no. So you just lost contact with NASA. They are sending you food which you need to the location that you know that is the wrong location, and you will not have chance to pick it up. And this is the beginning of the campaign. And when they start in a very bad situation, and then the story will develop. The very first scenario has a huge tension from the very beginning. You have to finish it in 5 rounds. This is very difficult to do this, to have the food where you want it. If you finish the 6th round, the food will be adjacent space. If you finish the 7th round, it will be very far away. It will be super difficult to get this food in the next scenario. So the players from the very first mission we have to act very fast because we will lose food for the whole campaign. And then the things, of course, start only getting worse and worse and worse. To the grand finale, and to discover why there was a problem with this connection, they have to build the antenna very quickly and fix the stuff. Everything that happens in the first scenario is saved and is continued to the second scenario. Everything that happened in the second scenario is saved and is moved to the third scenario. So if you have a condition token that means disease, you will have it for a couple of scenarios. If you get wounded in the first scenario, you start the second scenario with these wounds. If your oxygenator is not working properly in the first scenario, you have a problem in the second scenario, at the very beginning. Which is super important because the first scenario starts with a very good situation and few goals. Then something will break up. And the second scenario, we start with a new set of goals, but you are already wounded. And then the first scenario with the new goals, and you are even more wounded. And so for the players, everything will matter. This is super interesting. This is a completely different mindset when you play campaign. Every single wound is like 10 wounds in a regular game. This is like, we don't want to have this wound. So it builds another tension, another emotion. And as I mentioned, there's a whole plot line, all the story develops, and at the end, players will learn what actually was happening with this signal and when it was lost, and they will try to fix it for the whole campaign, without the spoilers. But because I have my reputation in the industry, that I am crazy, so we have another campaign in the box. So actually, we are not talking about the 6 scenarios, we are talking about the 16 scenarios. These are 6 base scenarios in Robinson Crusoe, and 5 as a one campaign, and 5 as a second campaign. And because we try to be up to the date to what happens in the industry, the second campaign is a legacy campaign. So this is what is lately quite popular and quite interesting for the players. So actually in the box you will find a couple of envelopes without the spoilers that have some super hidden handouts that at some point in the second campaign you will be instructed, please open this envelope, and there's something super cool stuff that is hidden that you will learn something super interesting. And because we want always to impress players and give them something unexpected, we will have, because the second campaign is more about the humans, more about the personal life because there is a second crew coming to Mars. So there will be non-player characters joining you. So we have the two crews right now in the very first scenario. There you are just building the secondary crew quarters, the secondary farm, so they can live with you. And we hired Rich Summer, the geek and the actor, the famous part of our hobby, and he's a narrator for this part. So he's doing voiceover for the second campaign, and players will actually be attached to the other team because he's narrating what's happening, he's talking with players, and we have these MP3 files that are at some point played for the players. So with every single scenario, they get more and more attached. We have amazing voiceovers from Regis, an actor, so he's playing it very cool that you actually imagine these people, these real people. So for the players, when there will be some choices, these interesting things, they are these living people. We heard Rich asking us for something like this is their choice. This is the choice. We call it a legacy campaign because of two reasons. One is because we have a handouts that we will use because we will write on them, and the other one because of these personal choices, because this is about the story about the humans, the other crew. The choices that you will make, from my designing point, are super important, and I want you and everybody else to know that I'm doing this choice once in my life. Either that, either that. The guy is asking us for something, and the other crew is done with it. And now we make a decision once in our life. This or this, yes. And this is the moment. Players are discussing and what to do. We should act like that or like that. And then the story once again develops in some super interesting final of the campaign. So once again, like in Robinson Crusoe, 6 missions, and then because I'm crazy, 5 missions and 5 missions altogether, 15 missions, 16 missions. It means that players, when they buy the game, they will play for a couple of months, just discovering new stuff. So this is the content. As you know, the game comes, I hope you know already because it is well marketed, the game comes up with the app. And you will face a lot of people who will complain that I'm playing board games to not be in a front computer. I play board games because I love cardboard. I play board games because I hate iPhones, etc., etc. So you have to understand why we added this application and how we added the value to the product to convince these people that it's not that bad actually, right? So in Robinson Crusoe, which has a reputation of being reply blah 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 to the absolute limits, yes, huge replayability of the game. It has 220 cards. 220 cards in the Robinson Crusoe, right? Here, at this very moment, we have 500 cards. Because I am not limited by the paper. I can put as much as I want, and I want to add many. So, this is the reason why we have an app, because I don't need to print a huge deck of cards and pay lots of dollars for printing that. I'm just updating the app, and you buy the game, and you already have 500 cards here. Twice as much as in Robinson Crusoe, yes. And what is more, if I have a free weekend and I am in a good mood, I will just design a couple more and upload it for you. Right? So it is not only that the customer is buying the game with so much content that the Robinson Crusoe, which has a very good reviews and very good feedback, but he's buying the game that will be updated by the designer because he's a crazy and he's putting more content, and it is for me super easy because I'm just have a new event, update it, right, and you have it. So for the customer, it's a great way to have this huge replayability just because we are not printing these cards, but we are having them here. This application is not distracting people from playing the game. This application is only for the events and adventures. When you play the game, the app is put here next to the board. In the event phase, you click the application, you read the event, and then for the whole round you forget about the app. You play the game, you roll the dice, put action points, put everything here, discuss. 10 minutes later, in the next round, you will read another event. So if anybody is complaining, I'm not playing with iPhones, I'm not playing with tablets, we are talking about like 15 seconds overall for the whole game, yes. We are adding this not to distract you, we are adding you to give you more content in the game. We are using this application also to cheat a little bit and to add more value for the gameplay, for more immersive gameplay. How we do that? When you start the game, first you will choose how many players you play, 1, 2, 3, 4 for example, yes. Then you choose the names, John, Smith, whatever, yes, your name, so you are playing your own character. And then the app asks you what difficulty level you want to play. Easy, medium or hardcore. And depending what you choose, the app will automatically shuffle the right cards for you. So if you are playing with kids, because they love to manage the oxygen. And if you play in the Sunday morning, yes, and you want to have just average, nice time with your family, you choose the easy events. Easy events are not even bad, they are good ones. Something could happen. This is interesting. We are just using them to build an interesting story. And no worries for this event, because you're playing easy mode. You just want to explore, be immersed in the team. If you chose a medium level, okay, so we want to play. So I will throw at you difficult levels. If you chose the hardcore level, you will be dead after 2 rounds. You asked for that. But basically what we are saying is that the app will adjust experience to your expectations. You expect to have an easy game, you choose it, and the app will throw the events that you wanted to. What is more, these 6 base scenarios that are in the game, we divided them into categories. So the scenario about the building everything where you just landed is a building category. If you lost the curiosity, it is exploration category because you have to explore the Mars. If you have a problem with the soil and you have to find the new minerals, it is research category because it's all about the research. So we have 3 types: research, building, and exploration. And depending which type of scenario you are playing, once again, because the app knows what you are playing, it will throw at you different events. So if you are playing exploration scenario and the app knows that you will be going here and there, it will tell you at some point, you see the storm coming from the east, because then it knows that you are playing here, so it plays here. If you are playing the research scenario, app knows that you are connected with this action the most, it will say, we have a problem with the computer, so it's just shut down, you have to reset that, blah, 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 blah. So everything that happens in the game is more or less coherent to the story and makes absolutely sense because the app is once again adjusting to what you are playing, what you were expecting, yes? And that makes it so much easier. So instead of giving players 200 cards shuffled, we are giving them 500 cards precisely chosen because the app chooses what they are playing and throws at them the right thing. What is more, because the app can save information, has information, can keep information, there are chains of events. So if you know from Robinson Crusoe, we have the situation that when you have the adventure, you can shuffle it into the event deck, and this is how the follow-up story is coming. Here I played with this concept on different levels. So there are some events that have connected to different events. I called it in the mechanism a chain of the events. So if you have this event that says, we have a problem with oxygen runs down. You say, oh, that's bad. You don't know that actually there's a chain of problems because next round there will be, and the solar panel just is this jet, and boom, and the farm. Like there's a chain of things that make perfect sense in terms of the team, and is all prepared for players to make the immersive story once again. So we have these chains. If you are talking about the adventures, if you have adventure, it will be shuffled to the event deck like earlier, but it has a very cool small detail that actually when I talk about this, it doesn't sound that cool, but when you play it, you will see it. Because you put your name here. Luke is playing with you. Put the Luke. And he has adventure, he says, hey Luke, you had adventure. This small thing that the app talks about your name is making a huge switch. When I was playtesting with the app, it was a huge difference that hey Luke, you have adventure. Hey John, you have adventure, yes. And what is more, because we have this follow-up, so there are some consequences. The app at some point will say, remember that Luke had this adventure back then. Hey, look, we have another problem. So once again, it uses this keyword, the name of the person, and he's not the first player. It's a Luke, it's a John, it's a Mary, etc., etc. And these are the small details that once again makes you super immersed in the story because you are curious. It's a Luke having a problem here. So this is how we can use this on the technology, not to distract, not to make them play video game, just to make them appreciate the story and have a great time here. So this is information that you need to discuss with these customers who might complain about having the app here. Now, for information for you, how I will help you with the app, because this is the value, all these follow-ups and the saves, etc. is the value for the players. What I have for you as a value. Robinson Crusoe has a reputation of the game that is difficult to win. First Martians will have the same reputation like a week after release. And at some point, if some of the players will win one of the scenarios, hopefully it will happen at some point, the app will say, you just won for the first time this scenario. Do you want to share with the world? Do you want to tweet about it? And that way, we are talking about, I have here 14,000 followers on Twitter to promote this game. But here, we will sell 20,000 copies of the game, and these 20,000 people will tweet about this game every time they win the game to their thousands of followers. So we are talking about hundreds of thousands or maybe millions. I have no idea how we are talking about the reach, but we are talking about impossible reach from the players. And what is more, is as you know the concept of how Kickstarter is doing the whole marketing. I just backed Rising Sun. I just backed Rising Sun. Okay, I will do that the same. I just backed Rising Sun as well. But you send this tweet. You send this tweet once in your life because you backed the Rising Sun once. You will win first Martians every other weekend. I just won first Martians. I just won first Martians. I just won first Martians. So we are talking about the game that is self-marketing for the next couple of years. And this is a huge tool for you because that way these customers, these happy customers, we must make them happy, must have a good game, and hopefully have a good game here. But if they are happy with the game, they will be super happy to, I won at the difficulty level hardcore. I won at the difficulty hardcore level this for the first time. And they will be bragging about this, bragging about this, bragging about this, and then people will be interested in the game. So we are talking about self-promoting product that will hopefully make a business for you. But it's not enough. Because I have access to this app via App Store and Google Play Store, etc. So I can update it. So if we have a 50th anniversary of Neil Armstrong landing on the moon, or we have an anniversary of sending Curiosity to the Mars 20 University, I just say, hey guys, this weekend we are celebrating Neil Armstrong's birthday. Here's a 15th event for you. Play this weekend with us. We are doing a worldwide event. And you can imagine what's going on to happen on Twitter and Facebook, etc., etc. Because for this weekend, there are precisely chosen by me events, free for you to upload. Just play without these events this weekend. And we have thousands of people this weekend playing this game and tweeting, I just took part in the worldwide event, Neil Armstrong birthday. So we are talking once again about huge concept of self-marketing this game by itself, by just giving the new content for the players and making them work for us, yeah? And tweeting that it was awesome, it was a cool scenario, it was a cool event, etc., etc. So we are going to market this game very strongly in terms of all the anniversaries, all the birthday, all this events dedicated to space. We have the calendar, we know what's happening, yes? And we will just provide the value for the gamers once again. New events, new scenario, whatever they need. Let's play the game together. Let's tweet about this once again. So hopefully, if the game is good, because this is a quite important factor in this whole equation. But if the game is good, we are talking about the game that will for in the next years self-promote and just drive sales to use it. But after talking with distributors last summer, because last summer I was doing some tournée in the States, visiting different distributors and talking about the game. Back then, we came up with another idea how to help you guys, how to help make a business, because it's all about that you have to promote the game, you have to sell the game, the industry is growing, people are playing the game, everybody's happy. So we can do something more for you. We can say that because in March there is a birthday of Neil Armstrong, we have a Neil Armstrong promo. You can get it from your local game store and play the new scenario with this promo. So I'm driving the traffic to your store, they're coming to you to get this promo, and then playing the scenario that is available through the app about the Neil Armstrong, whatever it is. So once again, we are driving traffic to you, we are driving people to play at this point of the year when we want to activate them once again. They're once again playing, they're once again tweeting. I just took part in a worldwide event, the birthday of Neil Armstrong, and I got this cool promo, and everybody's asking, what is this cool promo, how it works, yes? And they ask about the game and come to you, buy the game. Hopefully the game is good, once again I want to remind them. So this is how I will help you with this app to drive the sales to you. And I will support the gamers with their free content and making new scenarios and new events, new adventures, and just play again, because there's something new to discover in the app. And that way they will play the game over and over again and recommend to other players, and hopefully it will be a success. I think we can now talk about a little bit about the game, because we have a little bit of knowledge about how the game works. The game works exactly like Robinson Crusoe. So each player has 2 action points. You can spend 2 action points to activate any action or split them and roll the dice. So everybody who knows Robinson Crusoe knows how to play it. As I mentioned, it is crucial because, as we know, we have our friend Watch It Play who helps us a lot. But the biggest problem of our industry is that the customer buys the game, and from the moment of buying the game to the moment that he played the game, there's this huge bridge, this wall. You know the walls these days, I heard. He has to read the rulebook. no one likes to read the rule books, no one likes to have the time for that, etc. etc. If you buy the iPhone, you use the iPhone minute later. If you buy the game, you have to read the rule book or watch it play. With this game, we have thousands of people who know Robinson Crusoe. So when they buy the first Martian, we just browse the rule book, see that there's a few differences, and this evening they can already play, which is crucial for you, because when you do the first sales, you need the first feedback as soon as possible so the hype grows. So with that, you can say, if you know Robinson Crusoe, just browse the rule book and play the same evening, play the same weekend. This is as Robinson Crusoe. This barrier we are lowering as low as possible. We will have, there's a logo already on the box. So we have, of course, video on our side, but basically the most important is, after the 5 minutes of just getting familiar with the few new things, the players can play if they know the Robinson Crusoe is the same. We kept the same color-coded action, so like in Robinson Crusoe, Explorer action is green, Gather action is gray, Building action is brown, like they feel like at home in very, very quickly. In Robinson Crusoe we have a weather phase, that sucks. We have here a malfunctions phase, it sucks, like they are at home at the very, very beginning, yes? And only the team is different, only the experience is different, but the rules are very, very... We have a couple of small things that will impress players when they find them. Just in case this is not enough. We have a deck of cards that we call them, I have no idea how we call them, but we call them somehow in the rulebook for sure. These cards represent your character. They are especially important when you play campaign. A single game is too short actually to get attached to the character, but if you are playing campaign, you have a couple of games you will get attached to the character. We have physically how the guy looks like, personal life, so what's on Earth, momentous event, so what was important in his life, and the mentality, so how he's psychological. And now each player gets this card. This card in the upper corner has a number. This number is put into the app, so the app knows that you are playing this dude. And then during the game, no matter on objective of the scenario, no matter which scenario, no matter of what's going on in the game will say, hey, by the way, your wife is sending you this video because you have a birthday, happy birthday. Because the app knows that you have a wife on Earth and 2 kids. Or the app knows that you are an athlete and you are super good in athlete, so the app says, hey John, remember you need to go to the training today because it's a training day. Because the app knows which character you are playing. So these are we call it personal beats mechanism. So there are the small beats that once again, they don't change the whole game. But if the app knows what's your name, if the app knows that you have a wife on Earth, like these are the small things that makes, okay, this is me, I'm on the Mars and I'm playing. And by the way, we will have a widget on our website. Any player can log in to our website, put their photo, and print out their own board with their own photo.
Yeah.
So, wow. It is really like super cool feature that you are really this character. And we left a space for the name, so you can, if you want to, you can literally write your name, you have your picture, and we do a board game to tell stories, that's for sure. This is precisely exactly like the first seminar, 29 minutes. If you have any questions, I'm for you right now.
Could you just clearly say which platforms the app is on? Because I know that's going to be asked.
App Store, Google Store, Steam.
Okay.
So PC, Android, iOS, everything. Perfect. Yes, we are using the basic system. This is called Unity, I believe, for the coders. Yep. So it's all cross-platform, right? The app has a saving mechanism. So if you're playing the campaign after the first scenario, you saved everything. We have 5 saves, so you can play. For example, BGG crew once a year have their save, home crew, save, in the office crew. So you have a couple of saves, a couple of groups, and you can have these saves to keep it. So this is saving mechanism. We have this personal beats mechanism. We have a lot of things here in the app that will make this game super valuable for players and immersive.
How are you hoping that this presentation would reduce the hype?
I think I failed again.
Yes, I think so.
Okay. So let me accent my fears. I am 100% sure that the single mode is freaking awesome and is very good, Euro game about managing resources. You have single mission, you have your objectives to meet. For example, find this probe that is lost. You have 7 rounds, you have to find the probe, you have to manage the resources. It's a very good, about 60 to 90 minutes experience, and I'm super sure that it's awesome. What I'm afraid of is a campaign, because campaign, after the first scenario you have a couple of outcomes, after the second scenario you have so many outcomes, after the first scenario you have so many outcomes, and at some point you may lose control. I spent 2 years on this game, and my team was dying playing this game over and over and over again. And hopefully we found all the paths and all the solutions that may happen. But there may be some guy from Chicago or Missouri or whatever that will find some path I didn't see. So my only fear is that I didn't see something in the campaign, because there's so many things connected with these long paths of the scenarios. And the only thing that I'm afraid that at some point after the release, we read on the BG website, if you do this in the third scenario, the fourth scenario will be always lost because I didn't see something. So this is my only thing. I put a lot of work playtesting, all the different variants, all the different ways, but it's my only fear that I didn't see something. For the single missions, I'm super sure, because there is not this many outcomes out of this. See?
If you're playing the campaign and you're failing scenario after scenario, does it stop prematurely, or can you continue to play all the way through?
So you have to finish scenario and met objectives to go to the next scenario. So you cannot miserably fail and go further. You will not go further.
Okay.
So this first of all. If you lose the scenario, that will ask if you want to restart this scenario or you want to restart the whole campaign. Because you may see that, okay, we have in a so bad shape that it doesn't make sense, we'll never finish it anyway. So we just restart the whole campaign. So I will ask you this question. After each of the scenarios of the campaign, if you met all the goals, because there will be mandatory goals to move forward, and also some not obligatory goals that can give you something more, yes? If you have right amount of these goals met in the scenario, after the scenario you get experience points that you can spend for healing the hub, healing you, or healing the morale. So there's some things that help you a little bit for the start for the next scenario. But this is my biggest fear, that we are in the first scenario of the campaign, the guys have 0 food, and that's game over. And my playtester were playing right, and was everything okay, but there is somebody who played wrong, and he says, no, you cannot win it, oh, I don't know where, blah, blah, blah. So this is my only fear. If the campaign is played the same way as my playtester played, that means that your experience and users is the same as good as my playtesters, we are awesome. Like the campaign as we were playtesting is amazing. It's engaging, immersive. The plotline is twisting, like in a very good shows like Lost, like all these modern TV shows. There's so many things happening. After first 3 hours of the first campaign, I cannot believe there's so many things can happen in a board game, like basically. So if it works as I created it, we are at home. But if I missed something, we are doomed. But basically, as I say, this is a very thin line, and this will be either a huge success, either epic failure. We will see it. We are sending 3,000 pre-orders in late May or early June. Early June. So late June, we have 3,000 most hardcore Portal Games fans. People who bought the game with the shipping from Poland. So you can imagine, this is not cheap stuff. And yet they paid me because they wanted the game so badly. So we are shipping these 3,000 people copies. And 2 weeks later, we know where we are. Either they finished the first campaign and said, oh my god, it was freaking awesome. Either they're saying, you cannot finish the campaign because of blah, 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 blah.
Is that something a patch on the app could fix, though, if that came out, if you found there was a dead end?
This is the only thing that makes me a little bit calmer. Yes, I can say, like, even in the worst case scenario, like I really up something like very, very badly, there may be in a setup, and in a setup it may be pop-up icon, sorry, there was a mistake in the booklet, please play with that role. Yes? It is super simple to code it, yes? So this is the worst case scenario, right? Hopefully I don't need to do that, but this is my fear. This is my only fear, that the campaign has so many different things that are connected that the outcome is so big numbers of different outcomes. As I mentioned, we spent 2 years. Hopefully we did a good job, but till I don't see feedback in the internet, I will not sleep well. Guys, there is a room for the expansion, because I know that everybody will ask for the expansions. The base game of the first Martians is pure heavy science fiction game. The stress on the science. It is based on the Mars project. It's called Direct One. This is a real project how to land on the Mars. This is most of the scenarios and most of the events or quests are real stuff that is play tested by the scientists in the NASA, and they are thinking how to do that. But there's a lot of things from real books taken. If the game is successful, I have a lot of notes and ideas and cool notes, I would say, for the expansion of this space opera. So there are Martians, there are hidden Russian base in the Mars, there is some Nazi weapon hidden in the Mars, like all this crazy stuff we know from the comic books or crazy movies, yes? Awesome. But the base game, you stress it very heavily to the customer. This is a sci-fi with the accent on the science fiction, yes? Based on the real research I did, and I read about chemistry. Most of these books are available only in English, so I was learning about the minerals in English, quite a challenge for me. But yes, there's a lot of research done, and hopefully it will be super interesting for some of the players who are digging into the science. They will find a lot of homework done by me, basically, in the game.
What is the release date again for this?
Gen Con. Okay. Gen Con. And these 3,000 people who ordered from me will get this late June. So they have this 2 months window only for them to appreciate that they bought it from me and they can play the game. And hopefully the game is good. They're raving about the game. If I made a mistake, they are just killing the release. We will see. But we are just flipping the coin and see what happens. Guys, the main message is lower the hype. This is just a game. This is Euro game. This is a game about managing oxygen, managing energy, managing food. There is many scenarios. There's a campaign. There's cool stuff inside. But this is just a game. Like, it doesn't wash dishes. It doesn't dance. It doesn't sing. It's just a game. Yes.
Yeah.
Remember that.
You've done it, Ignacy. I am no longer interested at all. Take that box, please.
Yes, thank you for coming so late, because it's like 10 p.m. already. Almost 10 p.m. Remember, lower the pressure. It will not revolutionize the world. Yes, it's just a board game. Hopefully it will do well for you, and hopefully you will have a very good time with the campaigns. I'm especially excited about the campaigns. I know if they work well, they will be amazing time for you. Five scenarios. And that's it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.